When Dylan Andrews says he's had a hard day at the office,
hi, my honey.
He's not kidding.
I have a switch that I'm going to turn on because I need to go to work, and then as soon as that's finished, that switch goes off.
And he returns to his family. All going well, he'll soon be earning more than most office workers dream about.
I want to be at least on 500–600K a year.
More than $500,000 US. Dylan starring in the most hyped and most lucrative TV fighting show in the world. The Ultimate Fighter, filmed in Las Vegas, a cult reality show screened around the world. It's Big Brother with bloodshed, and the prize, a contract in the professional league. Dylan, the first New Zealander to make it onto the show.
It was always something that I hoped and prayed for, that this day would come.
I will do whatever I need to do to win that fight. Whether it's knees, whether it's elbows, whether it's a submission, whether it's a knockout, whether it's ground and pound, TKO.
Feeling a little nervous, I'm about to grapple with one of New Zealand's most dangerous men, someone who can legitimately call themselves an ultimate fighter, straight out of an Xbox game. Question is, do I high-five him? Do I do one of those fancy handshakes, or do I punch him in the arm? No, maybe not. Dylan, how you doing?
Hey buddy, good thanks.
Standard shake, nice.
You're not quite as scary as you look on the television.
No, not at all, man.
Dylan, back in New Zealand for a couple of days to see family and pass on some trade secrets to aspiring cage fighters.
So be comfortable in a bad situation. Orthodox, boom, body shot.
Dylan's strengths is his striking. He's an awesome striker with his hands. Yeah, he's the man.
He's a brown brother, so that helps, and he's a Kiwi, so you know that makes him tough.
Difficult to believe now that Dylan Andrews was bullied at his school, Hutt Valley High. True story.
I wasn't so much beaten, but I was to an extent humiliated, you know, in front of people. You know, I grew up a skinny kid. Obviously, I think that's why I was a target in the early age. But, you know, I kind of went from one extreme to another. Got really overweight, got big, you know, 120. And that's, you know, when I finally got into that point at my heaviest, that's when I found martial arts. Mixed martial arts, it pretty much saved my life.
Dylan watched The Ultimate Fighter on the telly, dreaming the same dream night after night.
I'd always get into a fight in my dream, and I would lose every fight. Every fight I would lose in my dream. I slowly, in my dreams, trained myself to win a fight.
Then he trained himself for real, joining a martial arts gym on the Gold Coast. From couch potato to cage fighter, Dylan Andrews from the Hutt became Dylan the Villain. Last year, Dylan decided to pitch for the big time, a place on The Ultimate Fighter.
Just like Australian Idol or New Zealand Idol, whatever, we've got auditions on this day.
How many tried out?
Close to 500.
500 of the world's nastiest cage fighters vying for 14 spots. The show's producers demanded absolute secrecy.
I need everything, cell phones, ID, wallets. I'm like, whoa, okay, this is getting real. And it wasn't until I handed my phone over, like I've given my life away.
Totally out of contact, a pretty tough 6 weeks for his children and partner, schoolteacher Tracy.
I hated every minute of it. It was horrible. I just had to be good for the kids.
She was scared at first, I think, like a lot of partners would be. You know, she had her doubts.
Do you worry about him being hurt, killed, brain damaged?
I don't know, I don't think about that. Am I going to tell Dylan that he can't do it? I'm worried about you hurting yourself really bad. Can you stop fighting now? Like, it's not going to happen.
He returned from Vegas. No one was allowed to know what happened. Tracy just relieved to have him back in one piece. They watched the first show, the elimination round, back here with Tracy's family on the Coromandel.
I want to make decisions. Go ahead.
Thank you, Boo-Boo.
A points win for Dylan means he's into the final 14 and into the Big Brother style house with all the boys.
It was a pretty surreal feeling, you know. For me to see everything that's going on is what I've watched on TV.
And you were part of it.
Yeah, I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God. I'm just a small town, kid from Lower Hutt.
And back in the hut, his mum's also been following the show, amazed at his success, considering how he was brought up.
My mum is a drug addict. My dad's an alcoholic.
That's true. I was dependent on drugs and harder drugs as well. All they saw was their mother out of it all the time.
On marijuana, cocaine, heroin, she dealt as well. The house often raided by police. Her own childhood was scarred by institutional abuse.
It was really tough for the kids, it really was. They took a lot of my anger, my children. And I need to say that to you because I've said it to my children, but...
Could you have gone down that road?
Very easily. Very easily I could have gone down that road.
What stopped you?
It just didn't feel right.
He just says, Mum, we had a choice. We either go that way or that way. And he said, I chose to be somebody, Mum.
Now he's fighting in front of a global audience of millions.
Our next fight, we'll have Dylan versus Mr. Cummings.
As for the final outcome, we'll have to find out one episode, 1 week at a time. Not even his mother's allowed to know how well he's done.
I still don't believe it when I look at it and I get glimpses of his face and his smile, and it just, I don't know, I just think, oh, my baby, my baby.
Is that smile a sign he won or lost?
I always smile. You'd never be able to tell.
The biggest smiles for his children, Neva and Tyrese, Gold Coast kids, finding New Zealand rivers pretty chilly. At 5, Tyrese is already into MMA. Don't be surprised that's happening here too. It's the world's fastest growing sport.
I give my kids confidence to be able to defend themselves, to be able to defend their little brother, their little sister, their mum.
That is why we're here, to defend ourselves.
If someone punches me, I'll punch them back, okay? But I'm not going to punch them, beat them till they're bleeding, because then I'm in the wrong.
Good. While I'm with Dylan, might as well get us some self-defense tips.
3.
I'm walking down Queen Street after midnight. Someone your height and weight comes at me.
Yes.
Apart from running, which would be my natural inclination,
Yes.
what could I do?
Throw the elbow.
That's the elbow, ideally to the nose.
Someone's got some anger issues.
Easy to make light of it out of the cage, but you can't avoid the fact that it's a violent pastime.
The word violence is not something that I use.
To the outside eye, it looks very unsafe. There's blood, saliva, it's vicious, it's brutal.
You have to get angry.
I think you have to have a switch, where you know, for me it's I can't like the person. I can't.
Okay, but you have to hate them?
Well, I have to feel like this person is taking something away from me, and that's what I do.
What do you imagine?
I imagine that if I don't win this fight, then my family don't get to eat. That's my personal thing. That's what I do. Okay, he's stopping me from getting paid, and if I don't get paid, I can't feed my family. So that's my switch.
He's about to throw the switch in the most crucial fight of his professional life, as Dylan becomes the villain. Though definitely seen as the underdog.
Zach, on the other hand, had a knockout, so I think we're the favorites in this one.
Dylan Andrews, who is probably the nicest guy I've ever met.
There's no points for being nice. Looks bad for Dylan. Round 1, and he's about to submit or tap out.
I felt like I was going to tap, and something said don't tap and keep going, and something happened to me, and I went to another place.
And then all of a sudden, Zach flips, and there was absolutely nothing he could do from the bottom. Winner by majority decision, Andrews.
That was a life-changing point for me. I'm proud of it. I'm happy.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
2 weeks later, the nice guys fighting for a place in the semi-finals.
Everything I do here is for my family, my kids, and my beautiful kids. And on the flip side, there's a drive inside me that can't quit.
Let's go, bro.
That's my past. That's my pain. People feel my pain in the cage.
Luke versus Dylan, they came out banging.
But so close, it went to a third round.
You know what you're working for? You know what you want?
His coach flashing a photo of his family. It worked.
Dylan came in that third round and said, I'm the guy that wants to go on and win this competition and get into the UFC. And he finished Luke.
Winner by TKO, Dylan.
But we found out today who's got the heart, the mental toughness, the endurance, and the will to finish people. I'm blown away and impressed with Dylan. That's how it's done here.
If he wins the Ultimate Fighter or even places well, he's up for a UFC contract.
Yeah, he's carrying all our hopes. We're all hoping that he takes it out.
Hanging out at the in-laws, celebrating his success, Dylan's waiting for his future to arrive.
I see at least another good 5 years in the sport.
At $500,000 a year, that's a cool 2.5 million.
You're pretty confident he'll get a contract?
He's Dylan, he'll get a contract. Don't you believe he's going to get a contract?
I do. I really do.
It's just my time, man. I just feel like it's my time. And just hard work pays off, man.
Love the story, but when is it okay to teach kids that an elbow to the face is okay? Well, it's okay if you don't go bleeding. I'm sorry, that's wrong to me.
I talked to the coach after that story. He's saying it's no different from rugby, it's no different from boxing in terms of these are violent sports but controlled in a way that means it's safe.
In rugby, you do not teach to punch in the face. I'm sorry, I just don't know when it's okay to do that with 5-year-olds.
Yeah, well, maybe fair enough. Dylan Andrews is through to the semi-finals in the sport, so we'll see how he goes from here.